Hi Pilates people, here's our essential workout for October 2020. We'll start in standing towards the front of your mat so you've got room behind you. We're going to place our hands onto our sacrum, right hand on sacrum, left hand on right hand, and then just gently squeeze the shoulder blades and the elbows back towards each other. So you're putting a slight stretch through the front of the shoulder. We're going with alternate legs, just gently tapping back behind us on a nice straight leg. So you're working on your hip extension here as your leg goes back. Spine staying neutral. We'll do 4 more alternating. Last one. And then we release the arms down. Now we're going to stay with the right leg all the time, and as the right leg taps back into the lunge, the left arm's going to swing forward. So we've got oppositional movements. We're going to do this a little bit faster. So we'll tap it 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we come back to parallel. We place left hand on sacrum and right hand on left hand, elbows and shoulders back, alternate slow lunges. Tap it back, getting that extension. So we're really stretching that leg out behind us, working the buttock as we take the leg back. Supporting knee that we're standing on will bend slightly in order to get that toe down to the ground. We're going for 4 more. Keep that retraction. Really squeeze the elbows. Last 2, last 1. Okay, and then we release. So it's left leg, right arm, double time. We reach, 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 and reach. 12 more. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Now the shoulders, roll them forwards, roll them backwards. So you're alternating the movement into your shoulder girdle. We'll start to make the movement bigger. So as we're rolling forwards, we're going to start to bring some thoracic flexion, extension, flexion, extension. So you're bringing in the upper back. As your shoulders roll forwards, think about separating and stretching between your shoulder blades. But as your shoulders roll back, think about lifting the breastbone up. So you've got that nice extension. Breastbone goes up, breastbone goes up, breastbone goes up. And as you're lifting the breastbone up, those shoulder blades are going right down the back, squeezing towards each other. And you'll notice the way the shoulder joint is moving beautifully. We'll go 4 more and back, 3 more, back, 2 more and back. Last one, hold it back, rotation, swing it. Just let everything go with these rotations. Moving from your ankle all the way up through your knee, through your hip, into your thoracic spine, into the head. We'll go for 8, 7, 6. Arms are just wrapping round. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing to center, releasing those arms. Now it's our standing cat stretch. We'll bring the spine through flexion, extension. So when you flex, you're going to use your abdominals. So you scoop in round your back, breathe out, and then breath in, extend. Exhale, flex. Inhale, extend. Try to stretch out into your lower back here as you're flexing and extending. So you've got that real tuck of your tail between your legs. You're pulling up of your pubic bone towards your ribs. And then as we extend, I want you to feel a slight stretch into the front of your throat as you start to reach the chin towards the ceiling. Twice more. And last one. Hold the extension, release it down. Now it's our chin retraction exercise. I'm going to go side on for this so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll just come down to kneeling. Imagine your chin as a book on a bookshelf. We slide it back, release, slide back, release. Now you'll notice as I slide back, the back of my head moves backwards. If you look at this from the front, we'll all get a rather attractive double chin as we slide back. But it's this feeling into the back of the neck that I want you to focus on as you work your retractions, because your vertebra in the back of your neck will be stacking up correctly as you draw back. We'll go for 2 more, and last one. Now we're going to put a few movements together. So we're going to do chin retraction into side neck stretch. We're rolling our chin just to our breastbone, and then bringing our head up to centre. We'll go again, chin retraction. Opposite way with your head, side neck stretch. Roll it across to your breastbone and up. So we retract, side neck stretch. Roll forwards and up. Retract, side neck stretch. Roll forwards and up. Retract, side neck stretch, rolling forwards and up, retract, side neck stretch, rolling forwards and up. We'll do a couple more. And last one. Okay, now we'll focus on rotation. So we'll do our chin retraction, and we're going to turn our head to the same side 5 times. Okay, so we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to centre, release the retraction. Go the opposite way, retract. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back to centre and release it. Wonderful. Okay, from here you can come down to a kneeling position, and we'll just work on the strength into the muscles at the side and also through the front of our neck. We're going to do a resisted neck strengthener. So you're going to place one hand on your head. Now as this hand pushes this way, your head is going to push that way, so that there's no actual neck movement, but the muscles down here are working statically. We'll hold it 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we release. We'll go the opposite side and we press, holding 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now this time we'll take our hands behind our head. Our head will be pushing back as our arms will be pulling forwards, but there'll be no neck movement. So we press 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's go again. Side, press, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Opposite side, press, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Hands to the back of the head, press, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release it. Excellent work. So if you find that you get neck ache when you're doing your flexion exercises, lifting your head and shoulders up, they are really, really good exercises to practice all your neck mobilisation ones, and then your static neck strengthening exercises. We're going to move on, and we're going to take it into spine twist with our arms and our shoulder blades in different positions. So our first position is the one that we call our prayer arms. We've got our thumbs stuck to our breastbone, fingers pointing up towards our chin, spine is tall, shoulders are back and down, and our pelvis stays still. As we turn to the side and back to the centre, then we go to the opposite side and back to the centre. Now I want you to notice the range of movement that you can move through with your arms in your prayer position. It is vital that your pelvis and your legs stay completely still, and that your head and your neck move as one with the rest of your thoracic spine. So we shouldn't really see you turning your head to the side, turning your head to each side, okay? That just follows the line of the thoracic spine. Once more in each direction. And then we'll come to centre and we'll cross our arms over our chest this time. So we rotate, side and centre. And you may have noticed already that your movement has become bigger with the arms across the chest. The bottom corners of our shoulder blades will have just rotated out and up a wee bit in the arms across the chest position. And that will have freed up a little bit more of our thoracic spine in order for it to rotate. We'll go one more in each direction. And then we'll come back to centre, release the arm. Now the next position will be hands behind head. You're going to try to keep your elbows back in this position. Don't let them come forwards. So think shoulder blades squeezing towards each other, elbows squeezing back. Don't let your head push forwards, so your hands are very, very light. And check your rotations. Now if you do find that this is a little bit much in terms of shoulder position, then try popping your hands on top of your head instead. That'll have the same effect in terms of where your shoulder blades are, but it will stop you from pushing your head forwards, okay, if you find that the movement in your shoulder joint doesn't let you get your hands into this position without forcing your head forwards. We'll go one more in each direction, and then as we come to centre from that last one, we will release it down. Scissor arms next. So we'll take a shoulder extension and then over into a lateral flexion. So you're bending to the side, your hands sliding down your leg, come back, switch. So you slide your hand down your leg. And if you think about that movement of just sliding your arm, taking it, sliding that arm down the leg, then you'll automatically get a lovely lateral flexion. It can be pretty tough to keep the extended arm straight, but do try to do that if you possibly can. And of course, if you are managing any nerve irritation issues, please don't go through any range of movement that will flare up your symptoms. So you are looking for your pain-free range of movement. We'll make this our last time through our scissor arm and our lateral stretch. Now again, if you find that the shoulders are a bit much there, there's no reason why you can't do your lateral stretch with your hands down by your sides, okay? And you can just pop a set of scissor arms in between every few repetitions of your side bends if you find that the side bend with the scissor arm is a bit much for your shoulders. We're moving to 4-point kneeling, and we're going to do some pelvic tilts in 4 points. I want you to try to keep your head, your shoulders and your arms nice and still, and just work this bit of your body, okay? So you're going to tuck your tail between your legs, stick your bottom up into the air. Tuck your tail between your legs, stick your bottom up into the air. Tuck the tail between the legs, stick your bottom up into the air. So your upper back should stay completely still. I want you to imagine that you have got a cup of tea balanced between your shoulder blades, and you are keeping that cup of tea nice and steady. We'll We'll make this our last one, and I'd like you to hold your spine in extension. Now, it doesn't matter about the cup of tea now. The cup of tea is going to fall off with what we're doing next. We're tucking our toes, we're keeping the spine in extension, and from 4 points, keep your hands planted on the mat exactly where they are, your feet planted on the mat exactly where they are, and push up so that your legs are straight and you're trying to press your bottom high towards the ceiling at the same time as you are shifting your weight back to try to position your head directly between your arms. So your heels are lifted and you are really pressing your pelvis up towards the ceiling to keep the curve in your lower back as best you can. Keep pushing your pelvis towards the ceiling, and at the same time start to gently lower both of your heels at the same time towards the mat, holding when you feel the stretch in the calves for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Raise the heels and bring it back to your 4-point position. Well done. Now from 4 points, we are going to work in neutral, and we will be working on our quadruplex. So I should very much like you to hold your back in your neutral position, so you've got a gentle lumbar curve, you've got a gentle cervical curve. We're taking our weight into one hand and the opposite knee. With our core softly engaged, we go out to pinpoint fingers and pinpoint toes. And then from pinpoint fingers and toes, I'd like you to do a very slow raise. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Now your hands should not go above the level of your shoulder, and your foot should not go above the level of your hip. It is not about trying to lift high, it is about trying to stay in your neutral. You'll probably find around about now that your tummy muscles are working fairly hard. We'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to pinpoint and back to 4 points. Shift your weight. So when you're going to pinpoint and 4 points, your shoulder girdle, your pelvic girdle, your spine and your head should all stay completely still. And then, nice and slowly from our pinpoint position, we raise 1, 2, 3, 4, and we hold it. Remember to keep your hand below the level of your shoulder and your foot below the level of your hip. You can visualize that you are balancing a plank of wood along the back of your body as you are in your 4-point position. And again, this is around about the time that you're going to feel those core muscles working fairly hard. So we'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly for the count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're back to pinpoint, and then we come back to our 4-point position. We'll go again. So we lengthen to pinpoint, fingers and toes just on the floor. We raise 4, 3, 2, and hold. Keep scooping those abdominals in. Make sure that your foot is lower than your hip, your hand is lower than your shoulder. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower. 4, 3, 2. We're back to pinpoint. We're back to 4 points. So it is important, we're changing, that you do go to pinpoint and then you raise 4, 3, 2, and 1 from the pinpoint position. The slowness and the precision of your performance of each of the exercises is really, really important. We're holding 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly lower, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There shouldn't be a flicker of movement, shoulder girdle, pelvic girdle, or your spine. Excellent work. So we are going to lie down on our tummy next. And we're going to do an exercise called heel beat prep. And for this exercise, we are working our lateral rotators and our buttocks, okay? So we take the legs wide and we bend the legs at the knee so that our heels are touching and our toes are in turn out. Now we're going to do a hip extension from this position, and that means we'll be placing our head down onto our hands and then lifting the front of our thighs away from the mat as you push the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. This movement can be very, very tricky to do, especially if your hip flexors are very tight or you find that you have your lateral rotators and the hips aren't very, very strong. So I'm going to show you how to modify this exercise to make it a little bit easier. And it's to do with the position of our pelvis. So if you place a soft block or pad underneath your pelvis, that will actually lift your pelvis up, okay? So you could use a cushion if you're working at home, and you could just lay your pelvis onto a cushion. And then that's going to mean that your pelvis is slightly higher than your torso. So your knees are going to be lower than your pelvis, basically, and it will be easier for you to get your thighs off the mat if you make that change to this exercise. Now, if you've been going in and out of your heel beat preps ever since we started, I think 2 more should see you through to fatigue. And then when we finish that last one, we will release. We're coming back to a parallel leg position. I'll get rid of that pad. We're going to work on spine extension. So, your elbows directly underneath your shoulders into a beautifully extended spine position. Try to think about pulling your shoulders back and keeping them down as you raise the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. The aim of this exercise is to keep your torso and your upper body in this position. It will start to do this when you get tired, okay? And that is what I would like you to notice and correct. Now the exercise is called the one leg kick. So as we hold our Sphinx position propped up on our elbows, we will squeeze one leg in towards the bottom with a toe, heel, release. We'll change legs. Toe, heel, release, change legs. Toe, heel, release, change legs. Toe, heel, release, change legs. Notice the position. Are you still extended, or have you fallen out of your extension a little bit? You've got room to correct it. Think about pushing your elbows into the mat, extending the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Last time through we go. Toe, heel, release. Excellent work. So following on from there, we will be working on our side. I'm going to do some clam exercises. So when we're working on our side, you've got the option of working in a side plank position, okay, so that you are in a nice straight line on the diagonal to open and close the knee. Any issues with shoulders, if you do find that your shoulder's not comfortable in this weight bearing position, then you can change it. You can lie yourself down, popping a cushion underneath your head if you find that your shoulder is much more comfortable, not in a weight bearing position, and we can work our clam like this. So the clam, again, this targets the external hip rotators, the same exercise or the same muscles that were working when we were doing the heel beat prep. We're going to work right at the top of the range, so we'll open, we'll hold, pressing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, and then we release it down. Lovely work. Okay, so from there we will now work on our inner thigh, and we are all going to lie down on our side for this. So if you have been doing your clam in this position, come down to side lying. We're going to drop the top leg over, so our top leg, knee, foot resting on the floor in front of us, and it's the bottom leg. Flex your foot, so pull your toes up towards your shins, raise and lower, raise and lower, raise and lower. So you're going to feel inner thigh on this leg. We raise and lower, raise and lower. Try to keep your foot flexed so you are pushing your heel away and pulling your toes up towards the shin. The position of your foot is important because that foot position activates the muscles down the front of the shin, the tibialis anterior muscle. And that muscle is quite important for making sure that we don't trip over our own feet. We're going to work right at the top, so we raise, we press. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. Excellent work. From there, let us turn onto our tummy. We're going to work the buttocks, the big buttocks next, okay? The gluteus maximus. For this exercise, head is on the hands, the toes are tucked again. I'd like you to tighten your thighs, clench your buttocks, imagine that you're kissing your buttocks towards each other. We'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the buttocks, release the legs. Let's go again. Tense the thighs, clench the buttocks. You're kissing them towards each other. Hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release them one more time. Tense the thighs, clench the buttocks. Hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. Okay, we're going to do the leg work on the opposite side now. I'm going to swing my head and my feet round to the opposite ends. So let's start with clamp. I'm going to work this one in our side plank position. Remember, you can work down here if you find that your shoulders are uncomfortable. Keeping the pelvis still, top knee open and close, open, close, open, close, open and close. Your body sometimes kids you with the clam, and it sometimes rolls back like this, letting your pelvis move, so it looks like you've got a great big range of movement. However, that doesn't work the muscles that we want to target. It's really vital that you keep your pelvis completely still as we work this. We'll stay at the top, we'll press 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So it's inner thigh lifts next. We're going to lie down, lengthen, and then just drop that top leg over and rest it on the floor. Flex the foot on the bottom leg, so you're pushing the heel away. We'll raise and lower, raise and lower, raise and lower, raise and lower. Knee is beautifully straight, and that lift is coming right from the top of the leg. Holding at the top this time, press the inner thigh. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing down. Excellent. Now we're going to follow that with our knee folds, and we're going to work with our pelvis and spine in neutral for our knee folds. If you're uncomfortable when you lie on your back in terms of head and neck placement, a little pad underneath your head, really important that you prop it there, okay? Remember your right angle at your knee, that's really important. If you have your heels too close, it means that you shorten the lever of your leg, which in effect makes your leg lighter, so it makes the exercise easier. Press your shoulders back, reach your fingers down, and keep a nice strong arm with your hands flat to the floor. Pelvis staying still, as we move in and out of tabletop. If you need to work the modified form of this exercise, then it is a single knee fold into and out of, into and out of, making sure that you do not move your pelvis or your back as you move your leg. If you're working the doubles, we're going to stay both legs at tabletop. Knees are directly up above our hip joints. Please make sure they don't come over your tummy, or it's highly likely that you will flatten and flex your spine. Hands are going to float up, and then we perform a soft chin tuck. Now from the chin tuck position, we're going to take a breath out to raise our head and shoulder blades, a breath in to release them down. And as we raise our head and shoulder blades, imagine your hands are just pressing down onto giant springs. And it's vital that at this point you're still neutral. Now, if you do find that your neck muscles aren't quite strong enough, it is absolutely fine to support one hand underneath your head, changing to the opposite hand so that you are getting symmetrical work. Our aim is to do a set of 10. We've got 4 left. Last one. Lovely work. Placing the feet down onto the floor. We'll bridge next. Again, if you get hamstring cramp, then you can move your heels a little bit closer to your bottom for this so that you don't get cramp. However, if you can work with your heels and your feet at right angles, please do. So we'll build on our bridge. We're coming up to bridge. Holding the bridge, we're coming to tabletop and then leg extension. Tabletop and release. Changing legs, come to tabletop and then leg extension. Tabletop and release. Roll out a bridge. Changing the leading leg, let's go again. Up to bridge. Now when we go to leg extension, it's important that the movement isn't this. I want you to try to get a stretch in your hamstring. So your movement is up. It's also important when we're bridging that when we go onto one leg, we don't let our pelvis drop down. Okay, so you keep it lifted. And you're looking for a nice straight line across the front of your pelvis into your legs at the top of your bridge. We'll go for one more. And then we'll roll it down out of our bridge. Lovely. Let's do some side lying spine rotations. You'll need something to pop underneath your head for this one. I'm going to use a big block. Now I'll be holding the rotated position and we're using the open door arm line. So we've got a right angle at the knee and the hip joint, nice neutral spine, right angle at the elbow joint. So we take a breath in, engage the core, reach. Breath out, rotate. And then we're staying here in the rotated position. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And the out breath allows you to return. Let's go again. Breath in, engage, reach, looking at the arm, breath out, rotate. Hold it, breath in. Breath out. Breath in. And use the out breath to return. Breath in, engage and reach. Breath out, rotate. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. And our next out breath returns. Excellent work. Okay. Moving from our sideline spine rotations, we're going onto our back. I'm going to move this to the opposite end, okay? Practicing our knee folds to tabletop. Maintaining the pelvis and the spine in neutral. Now what I'd like you to do is place your fingers behind your ears, rock your head into chin tuck, and raise your head and your shoulder blades just off the mat, but you've still got your curve here, okay? From here, if we heel glide our leg out and in, opposite leg out and in. We're looking for that heel glide to be a roughly 45-degree angle between the leg and the floor as we glide it out. Now when we do this, it is important that our abdominal wall stays flat and we keep the curve underneath our lower back. So if you need to, you can have a bigger angle here between your leg and the floor when it goes out straight, and that will make what you're doing easier. We're going to hold the next one out and we're going to do circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bring it back in, opposite leg goes out. Circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bring it in, rest it down and release the legs. Excellent work. Go for full body stretch. Oh, that was a bit of a toughie. Balancing up our rotations on our side. My head and heels are at opposite ends. We're in the open door arm line position. We take a breath in, engage the core and reach. Breath out, rotate. 3 breaths. Breathe in, stay. Breathe out, stay. Breath in, stay. And breath out, return. Breathe in, engage and reach. Breath out, rotate. 3 breaths. Breath out, return. 1 more time. Breath in. Engage. Reach. Breath out. Rotate. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. And breath out. We return. Following our final rotation, we'll stretch out and we're going to do some stretches for our shoulders, the front of our shoulder joint, okay? And you've got to use the muscles in the back of your body in order to get a decent stretch with this one, okay? So you're going to lie on your back, take your arm out to the side and just let it rest onto the floor. So your hand is in a line with your shoulder. Now I'd like you to try to pull your shoulder blade towards the centre of your back, please. And as you statically contract the muscle at the back of the joints, the back of the body and the arm together, you might just start to feel now a stretch across the front of the shoulder. So you have to keep that muscle statically contracted. We'll try to hold it for 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2, 1, and then we let it go. Okay, taking your arm, if we think about this as a right angle, 45 degrees higher. Now this time you're going to pull in and down with your shoulder blade, so you've got retraction and depression of the shoulder blade, okay? So we're going to pull in and down and hold it there. Now the stretch is going to feel it in a slightly different place as you hold So keep pulling that shoulder blade down and back. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Release it. The next one, we're going for the overhead position, okay? So you're going to pull your shoulder blade right down your back for this one. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and release it. Let's do those same 3 stretches to the opposite side. So you're going to start with your arm out at the side, okay? So you're lying on your back, your arms out at the side, you're pulling your shoulder blade in and you're keeping that shoulder blade contracted in with your arm extended out. Keep pulling that shoulder blade. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, let it release. Okay, the next one, the arm goes to a 45-degree angle. You pull your shoulder blade back and down, okay? So pull it back and down. Keep that muscle working, really statically contracted. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, releasing. And then in your next position, your arm is extended, so you need to pull your shoulder blade down, okay? If you find that position easy, you can also go to flat back, pressing your lower back into the floor as well. So shoulder blade down, keep pulling it down, keep pulling it down, keep pulling it down. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 and then release it. Okay, let's do one more just for our core muscles. We'll do our dying bug exercise. So we're holding the neutral, keeping the core muscles softly engaged. We start either the easier version, one-legged tabletop with the opposite arm extended. You're going to do a set of 10 here, maintaining the neutral as you extend away. You can make that slightly harder by combining the weight of an extra arm, or you can make it harder still by combining the weight of both of the legs. So if you're working with one leg, we are going to do 20 in total. We're on about number 6 now. So if your start position was here, there's 7, 8, 9 and 10. You change sides, changing the leg and the arm. 1, 2, 3. If you're working here, you're probably getting very, very fatigued by now. 5. It's important you don't extend. 6. If you've done enough, take a break. 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, wonderful. That's our 2 sets. Fabulous work. Lengthen out to full body stretch, reaching your arms over your head, legs down the mat. Flat back this one if your arms easily go over your head. Now you can also use that little technique of pulling your shoulder blades down your back here that we practiced with our single arm stretches. So if you do want to pull your shoulder blades down as those arms are over, that will make your stretch just a little bit more effective. We'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 and then we release it. Now we will be coming up to seated, and in our seated position we're going to work our inner thigh stretch. So we'll place our feet together and just press our knees down towards the floor. and we'll release it. From there we come to 4-point kneeling. Now we're going to do down dog, just like we did a little bit earlier. So our hands are underneath our shoulders, our knees are underneath our hips. We go to an extended spine position, so you're pushing your bottom up into the air, tailbone towards the ceiling. Toes are tucked. We are going to rise, straighten the legs, start to shift our weight backwards. And we are aiming to get our ears between our arms in that three-legged dog position, but stay high. So you're in a nice high position with your legs. From here, if you fancy a challenge, stretch one leg up into the air. Try to make a straight diagonal line from the foot that's in the air to the hand that's on the floor. Now allow that leg to bend at the knee and just take a little rotation. Release from the rotation, stretch the leg and bring it down. And let's try that on the opposite side. So keep that tailbone pushed up into the air, stretch the leg up. Bend the leg at the knee, take a little rotation. Come out of the rotation, stretch the leg up into the air. Place it down, and then from there we shall walk our hands towards our feet and roll to standing. Stretching our calf, step forwards, so your back heel's pushed into the floor, and stretch your triceps by taking your hand in between your shoulder blades, pushing your elbow towards the back of the head. Releasing the arm. Changing the legs over. We'll move into hip flexor stretch. So with our back leg, we lift the heel up, bend both knees and tuck the tail between the legs, and the stretch is down into this hip, reaching towards the ceiling. Releasing the arms, releasing the hip, changing legs, okay? So we're going from the calf stretch, up, down and tucking, and then reaching. Releasing the arms as we untuck. Finishing with a standing quadricep stretch. You can hold your ear as you bring your heel towards your bottom. Now try to move your knee, if I show you from the side, back. Change sides. Hold your opposite ear. Grab hold of your ankle and try to move your knee back. Wonderful. Come into standing, give your shoulders, hips, fingers and toes a bit of a wiggle. Nice deep breath, stretching towards the ceiling. So there was a lot of focus in that on neck muscles, mobilisation and strength of the neck muscles, and a really good focus on really strengthening your core. Hopefully that'll keep you going until November, and then I'll send you a new sequence of exercises. Well done, everyone.